And so that's what this was about. It was like, yep, we've been chipping away with Gaza on the flax boards for 8 years. We've got some results. Let's start talking about it. So this has been really fun.
Dave, how's it?
Yeah, really good, thanks.
That Guinness doesn't really make any noise.
Yeah, I'm good.
You've been behind the sort of curtain of major media for a long time. How's this experience been for you? And I guess pretty simply put, all the praise that's been coming your way.
Oh, it's all good. If anyone's standing near Danny, can anyone point fingers at Danny? Oh, thanks. Is that Sean? Yes, everyone turn around and look at Danny. He's tall, very handsome, he's got a strange hairdo. He's the guy that's making all this really fun stuff, and let's give a hand to him actually right now. Yay! Yeah, Danny, he's just a legend. If you see his name attached to anything, you're in for a good time, and so I just feel really grateful to be able to do something like this and to say something that's hopefully useful, but also with humour, which is his epic strong point. So just fucking great, mate. Good on you, Danny.
How long's it been since you've ridden different equipment from different shapers?
I've had a gluttonous life with surfboards. I've been very fortunate, and I've actually felt like it's a bit of an obligation because I was sponsored and not having to do a 9 to 5, I thought it was my duty to test anything and everything that was in the world of surfing. So this is like the perfect project. So it's just been really cool to nerd out and do that. And also to just be surprised. There's just never-ending ideas. Like this one. I saw all the men on stage fondling the surfboards in a very sexual way in the last 40 minutes. Hands up if you were one of those men. Yeah, there were a lot of you. It looked really disturbing, actually, to see like a dozen men up here. But like, that is such a weird creation. And anyway, it's just really cool. We're just so lucky to have so many oddballs in our surfing organism. So that's been a real treat.
And you got to connect with some old friends far and wide. You obviously grew up in Burleigh on the Gold Coast and spent your time down here in the Northern Rivers. You were amazing at picking up the shapes. You're quite clearly connected to both sides of the culture. Was there any major surprises in here?
Surprises. Yeah, I thought this one was a Dane Reynolds for some weird reason, because the guys had mentioned that he'd made a board, and I kind of wanted to shred it because I wasn't a fan, and I was like, he's an amazing surfer, but he should just stick to surfing. And I'm really glad I didn't shred it, because that's Duke Iper, and that's the Iper family that I do not want to upset.
Talk to us about your relationship with them.
Yeah, so the Iper family, like Ben Iper is like the godfather of twinnies and one of the pillars of surfing in Hawaii, and he was a scrapper in the day, and it's just intense. And so anyway, I'm so glad I wasn't a dickhead and talked shit about this board, because I would have been in a lot of trouble.
I'm going to pull you up here. You were awfully discriminate of the spray going horizontally on this board, but you didn't mention it on this board. What's the story there?
No, I did actually. This was Danny. And so Danny threw me under the bus when we did the first episode release in California. he was saying, "Oh, you're such a lovely guy. I thought you were like open-minded, but you're talking all this shit about sideways sprays." And so he started sort of calling me out about that. And then I was like, yeah, it's terrible. I don't know why someone would do that. And then turns out Duke Iper is right there in the audience. And the reason he did this spray is because Ben Iper, his dad, who was one of the first guys in the modern fiberglass foam era of surfboards to like break a line on longboards back a long time ago, he thought he'd get more points in a competition by having this spray here because it would show that he was putting his board up like this when everyone else was just going like this. So anyway, Duke comes up on stage and explains that actually this sideways deal has this deep Hawaiian history. And I was a dickhead on stage 2 minutes before him going, "Why the hell would you do this? This is a stupid idea." So that was very embarrassing, and I've got Danny to thank for throwing me under the bus with that. But that's the reason for that. So they're the Hawaiian flag colours and stuff. And that was the history with that outline.
And you sprayed over the board next to it, but you actually gave that a second chance, which is pretty rare.
Yeah, so since then, I've been asking people, because it's really fun to talk out with people about boards, and I didn't know if this was just something I've experienced, but I felt like this board loosened up after riding it a few times, and I've been asking people if that's a feeling they've felt, like you ride a board once, you might not click with it, but you've paid the person hundreds of dollars and you want to give it a go, and then maybe a few surfs in, something clicks. And I've often wondered if that's just our psychology, like we just really want to make the board work because we fucking forked out money, or if the board actually loosens, like stretches a bit and loosens up. And maybe that happened with this one, but more than anything, it was spraying over the pedestrian stripes and then also putting these new fins that we were messing around with just by chance then.
How often do you attribute the board's performance to fins? Because in episode 3, it was remarkable, the difference. Do you ever fuck around with it, or you just go, nah, that's it,
endlessly.
No,
Endlessly. I don't know about you all, but like, do you feel like every year someone comes up with a gimmick? Like there's a fin gimmick, there's a blank, there's a stringer, there's a glass, there's some sort of idea that doesn't really have a lot of testing behind it. It might have a little bit, but not years of testing. And I've kind of gotten a bit over that over the years. And so with the flax thing, that's why Gary and I never talked about the flax thing until we put 8.5 years into it. And I was like, yeah, this is about time to fucking talk about this. So that was really cool. But then with the fins thing, over the years, there's been little things that we've done to fins, like in concaves on the inside and stuff, that have been pretty noticeable. But it wasn't until that fin that you're talking about in the 3rd episode of this, that fin was a distinct upgrade. And that is what took this board to another dimension, and then also took that board into another gear, and also the Percho board to handle, because those fins in that are 12 inches up, which is 4 inches further up than a normal 20. So yeah, you can do a lot. It's not often that fins make that much of a difference, but for whatever reason right now with that foil we're doing, it is fucking significant. And I'm revisiting boards that I've held onto for years because our boards last a long time, and I'm finding that all of a sudden it's a whole new board, and that board can handle 4 foot bigger surf than it's ever handled and higher speeds. So that's pretty cool.
I do love that. I think a lot of us probably think, oh, the board doesn't work and would never bother to change the fins, but I think you definitely opened up a lot of people's eyes there. If I could get the shapers from the final episode nearby, Darren, Durwood, and the lads, if you just want to come up. Corey, Ryan,
sick.
Percho.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, Percho. What about the fin dilemma with your boards? 1 + 2 turned into a 2 + 1. How'd that feel?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I guess I'm pretty open with fins as well, but yeah, that kind of threw me a little bit watching Dave ride that as a twin fin with a stabiliser. As opposed to a 2 + 1. Completely opposite, I guess it's the opposite version of a fin design that you could, the polar opposite, which is great to see, and it's kind of pushes boundaries, and really nice to just see something quirky and then such a gifted surfer on it pushing those boundaries. So yeah, I'd like to re-look at that and put the fins in a similar position, which I've spoken to Dave about, but he's pretty pumped on where they are, so.
Yes, that is true.
And Neil, if it was anyone but Dave, would have that pissed you off?
Yeah, well, if I was making that board for a customer and they did that, I mean, there are actually guys that have put, on 2+1s in WA, they've put sort of keels where the side fins go, which is a different feeling again, but it's quite stiff and drivey with fins right on the rail. So there's all these combos with fins that really do change the board. And as Dave said before, you know, these combos of fins, you find these fins that just come into a real nice focal point and enhance the way the board goes and what the board's designed to go, because usually I design the board around the fins. So you're shaping the board, taking away foam to compensate for how many fins you got, or, you know, not many fins. So that board that I made him had really tucked rails in the tail, so that keeps the surface of the board in the water. So with those fins being so far forward, he could keep the rail of the board in the water a lot more than, say, a thruster rail that's got square rails in the tail and want to sit on top of the water. So I kind of had that, you know, sort of subtleness in mind anyways. So.
Is that a trait that's probably shared amongst most of the shapers up here on stage? Sorry, boys. Ryan, thanks for making the trip out from Hawaii, mate. How's your trip been so far?
You're super welcome.
And it's a little different to the surfboard tests with the high performance shortboards. You knew who you were shaping for. How did that go down?
That was a super, super welcome change. I think a lot of the ones previously we had like an idea of who was going to be surfing them, but a lot of us kind of specialize in custom boards. So to have like intimate knowledge of who was surfing, where they're going to surf it, what they prefer, I think we all had a better shot at shaping something more in line with what was going to kind of succeed. And I think that's pretty like well reflected in the outlines and the styles that ended up in this kind of stack.
And were you nervous when your board got turfed and then brought back in?
It wasn't the greatest moment. In the theater, we drove like 4.5 hours to see the first episode. We were sitting in the theater, and the blood ran out of my face, and my wife reached over and grabbed my knee, and I was like, good. So.
Well, anything from there is a win, which must feel good.
Yeah.
You made it this far. Well done.
So far, so good. Yeah.
And Corey, it's obviously a similar question. You know, when you get propositioned with a job like that to shape a board for Dave, he's done some amazing things in your part of the world. How was the pressure?
There was no pressure, because I think Rasta surfs everything good, so I couldn't lose.
As long as you shaped a 20, turned everything into a fucking 20.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I actually felt no pressure whatsoever. I just wanted to shape him what I was surfing at the minute and see how he liked it. That was it. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, awesome. And Darren, your office is in Burleigh. Rasta, you spent a lot of time in Burleigh. How come you guys haven't hung out more often?
Well, if I saw how good you surf, I would have got there before Gary did. And
Well, you did, actually. So the second custom board I ever had was one of yours. And it was under Pipe Dreams label when you were shaping with Murray Burton.
Well, I blew it.
And you remember you had the D, and it was like that, and then the H fit in it, and then the D at the other side were the same sort of, it was like a semi-eggy shape.
I'm bringing that one back.
It's going to bring it back now, you watch.
Yeah, the mid-90s.
But I mean, one of the things I like, how good are surfboards? Like just to see all these different shapes, all these different people. I mean, I just follow that pointy nose thruster competition. I've got, half the team here tonight. They're just so interested in watching what you did and just how well you surfed every single board. And I mean, right now I'm, 60 years old and I'm playing around with mid-lengths and twin fins. I'm not riding the thrusters as much anymore except in the wave pools, but just watching the way you adapted to every single board, the way you move your feet. Stephanie Gilmore said to me, did you see that part where Rasta moved his foot on the twin fin? We need to talk about that. And then to have Neil Purchase here tonight, like his dad used to shape boards for me when I got busy. He wasn't that good at it, but he shaped really good boards. But, and then you got Gary McNeil, he used to pack surfboards for me. And then he wanted to learn how to shape, and I gave him a chance to shape. He made these Persian slippers, though, really. And then he went out and he met you, and he's created this thing with his flax. And Liam O'Brien, straight away, when he saw the first episode, rang me next day. What do you know about flax? Wanted to know, wanted a board that lasts, wanted a board that he goes to Fiji, Hawaii, that's not going to break, So we saw a few break, but, I just think it's great for Stab and great for yourself to just change the way and not just stay at this pointy nose thruster thing. So well done to you, mate.
Oh, cheers.
Well done.
Thank you, Dan.
Really well.
Cheers.
I really loved it.
Very kind.
Yeah, I'd like to extend that. Thank you as well, Dave. How much effort you put into your kind of breakdowns and time into this. But it does get me wondering, who do you talk to when you're not filming?
Well, I haven't done anything like this in a long time, and that's by choice, because I don't want to assume that people want to hear from me. We live in a pretty narcissistic surf culture where everything's GoPro'd, everything's vlogged, everything's blogged. There's so much material going out there, and it's like, because we can speak, we think we should. And I don't think that's a good idea. I think we should hold back, and when we feel like we have something actually substantial to say, we say it. The rest of the time, we shut our mouths, and we look after our families, we look after ourselves, we just stay chilled, and don't just keep doing shit, keep the wheels turning. And so that's what this was about. It was like, yep, we've been chipping away with Gaza on the flax boards for 8 years. We've got some results. Let's start talking about it. So this has been really fun.
The sessions speak to that. Yeah, well done. The sessions speak to that. You obviously filmed the majority of this on the northern New South Wales coast. That's quite clear. There's no heads bobbing over the waves. You're constantly searching out those places, which we don't need to go into detail, but it is kind of, everything you just said there comes into effect in these films.
No. I just surf all the busy points. I just got them to Photoshop all the heads out. I surf with everyone else.
Not buying it. Corey, is there anything that you've watched from the episodes that you'll take home with you to start working on from this point on?
My technique, my surfing ability, all that stuff. No, Dave's surfed incredible on everything, and it's just a privilege to be involved with so many great names of the industry and to offer up something truly different. Yes.
And Ryan, yourself, obviously working with someone like Dave, who, is unique to say the least, but to have that access to him, watching those clips, is there one thing that stands out to you that you sort of had a light bulb moment on? Other than fins.
I was going to say, seems like those fins. I sure got a lot of messages about those fins right after. But, flax as a whole, I've been wanting to try for a long time. This gave me a really good excuse to do it. And I'm sure it'll be a pretty constant thing from here on, because it's really not nearly as scary to work with, as you can kind of build a boogeyman about a new material about in your head. It's fun to kind of break the seal on that, and I'll be messing with it for sure.
And Dave, without putting words in your mouth, an answer like that is probably all you need to say that this whole exercise was worthwhile.
Yeah. And before we start, because we're going to start this thing pretty much now?
Pretty soon, yeah.
Okay.
But we don't know the winner yet, just FYI.
I know. But I would like us to do what we did for Danny. Can everyone give Corey a round of applause for the upside down board where everything was on the top and it was tweaked. Yes. Because to me that was really refreshing. That was fucking quirky as. And then for Ryan for also being an experimentalist and someone keeping the vibrant edge of surfing alive in his part of the world, Santa Barbara and Kauai. Let's give him a round of applause. And pretty much anyone who lives in this region knows and loves Big Brother Man Perch here, and thank him for his polished Riverstone boards. If you want a round, smooth board, just fucking lineage of surfing right here with Perch. So please give him a big round of applause.
Cheers, bud.
And for Darren, you being on that vibrant edge, that pointy end of the whole thing, but also experimenting over the years, over and over and over. Let's give him a big round of applause too, because you are adding to the culture for sure. And I just reckon we're really lucky. You know, these are the guys who keep surfing, the guys and girls, Avalon, who also shaped the board in the mix, the amazing women in our culture. Like, these are the people who are going to keep it interesting and not fucking golf or tennis or all that other shit. So I just think we should celebrate that, and it's obvious everyone who's here loves that part of our culture, and I think it's just good. So fucking good on the Stab crew for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a potent point to make. Thanks to all the shapers that have contributed to this series and the others that have come before it. Ernie Burns in the crowd, Simon Jones, Avalon, Shot Ern. He picked your board straight away. You got to go undercover next time. But yeah, Dave, thank you so much for your time. It's been a real pleasure to watch. Thanks to all you guys for your time as well. Cheers. And we're going to get into episode 4, which is the finale.
I'm still absolutely lit up to have one of these boards in my life. And it's that one. Definitely that one.
Hey, that's cool.
Let's bring him up, Ryan Lovelace, ladies and gentlemen. He was waiting up the front for a prize. You got the big prize, mate. Simon, I'll let you hand it off, brother.
Congratulations.
Dave, Rasta, if you're still in the building.
And another thing,
You boys don't have to share one. Come a little closer.
when you mentioned all of I can't remember exactly your words. Hello, Dave. The fact that you had all those regrets after you shaped the board. I remember that each time that I've participated in this, you would shape the board and then you would wake up in the night and go, oh my God, why did I do that? I should have done blah, blah. And it's the most tormenting few months. And I totally appreciated that. And that also goes to working out in the margins. It's like being a farmer and just like, is it going to rain? I hope it rains. And then it doesn't. And anyway, congratulations.
Thank you, man. Sleepless nights.
Woohoo! Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for making the trip out, and thanks everyone for having a listen of Ryan's elaborate victory speech. Ryan, the floor's yours.
Do I have to use the word elaborate?
You can define elaborate.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I have such low expectations going into this. And I think that's a really good place to start because there's so many mental shapers and so many cool things that come out of it and so many question marks kind of explored. I'm stoked you like my board. That's a huge plus for me, and that's all I can ever ask when I make any board, that somebody connects with it. It's fun. I don't know. I'm stoked.
I'm not going to let you off that easy. We're used to seeing Ari Brown riding your boards without fins.
Yup, I forgot. Yeah, it's that's particularly enjoyable. From the first time that somebody told me, hey, you got to check this kid out, And I kind of wrote it off for a couple days, and then I saw it myself, and I was like, son of a bitch. And it just hasn't changed. He's a joy to watch, for sure.
Again, I asked you earlier, I'm not too sure if anyone heard the question, but what was the nerves like, or I guess the expectation on yourself? You said it was low expectation. I think that's every surfer, particularly in this part of the world. You have to paddle out with low expectations about any of your surfs. But making a board for Dave, like Simon mentioned, it keeps you up at night. Was that the case for you?
For sure. I mean, we're given like a real small window to do this. There's like 2 weeks from email with prompt to board has to be halfway across the world. So it's like a lot of time and a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, but not a lot of time to process it. So I think it all happens real quick, and then you make the board and it's gone, and then you don't hear about it for months. And you just wake up in the middle of the night and say, I wish I had done X, Y, Z different, and why did I try that, and I should have done that. And in the end, if you set your expectations low, then you're gonna be okay.
Last one, how'd you go with the flax, and did you call Gary?
I did not call Gary. I should have. In that episode I saw that they said somebody called him. I was like, well, that's smart. But I didn't even think about it. The guys, the Tim Pony guys on Maui sent me flax, overnighted me some glass, which was real cool. And I just kind of went for it. It was real fun to just really not have time to stress about it. It was just on.
Well, Ryan, we really appreciate your effort into this series and every series you've been part of. It would not be an Electric Acid Surfboard Test without that happening.
We finally did that.
You hadn't done that yet.
No, every time we'd stack this shit up, we were saying that's going to happen, and finally the last
There's
opportunity.
some sort of microclimate in here.
And it was the 3-fin.
Fitting. No, look, I think what's fitting is to leave Dave with the final word. Dave, thank you so much for your time in this series. Again, Danny Johnson, thank you. And Dave, a parting word for the audience here tonight.
Hang on, I want to have a parting word. Because this series, which I haven't seen all of, but it's so considered, and I think you were a shining example of how this sort of thing should be run. You obviously put so much time and consideration into it. Perfect ambassador.
Cheers. I've had like 6 Guinnesses, so there's nothing smart coming out of my mouth right now.
Split the G anytime?
Other than thank you. And that, I think we live in a pretty fucking awesome area for strange people being celebrated. And I just hope that continues. If you see kids down the beach doing something that they love, give them a kind word, prop them up, stoke them out. We're just lucky. So thank you. It's all good.